On August 21st, 2017, we will have an opportunity to witness a once-in-a-lifetime experience. From our position in Sandy Springs, we will get to see 97 to 98% coverage of the sun by the moon. In this video, we're going to look at the history of eclipses and some of the more famous ones, the position of the sun, moon, and earth, and what causes solar and lunar eclipses. We're going to look at the anatomy of the eye. What exactly will be damaged if you look directly at the eclipse? And finally, safe viewing so you don't have to worry about damaging your eye. Let's get started. Here is the path of the solar eclipse that's going to occur August 21st, 2017. It'll start in Oregon, go through Oregon, pass through the southern part of Idaho, go through Wyoming, Kansas, Missouri, just a little tip of Kentucky, go through Tennessee, and then most of South Carolina. Then finally exit at Charleston, South Carolina, where it will go off into the Atlantic Ocean. One of the things that makes this particular eclipse so great for Americans in particular is that it's only going to be going across America. Since 1776, that has never occurred before. And here we have a list and a path of several eclipses that have occurred since the foundation of America. One of the first is 1778, which occurred in the middle of the Revolutionary War. Another very famous one, which many people might know about, is 1918. That eclipse was used to help prove Einstein's general theory of relativity, where during the eclipse you could see a star that was in a different location than it should have been, and the only reason that it was in a different location was because of the bending of space-time. And I'll get to that a little bit later in this presentation. Solar eclipses have happened a lot throughout Earth's history. And while they occur, ancient civilizations have seen them and have drawn up some very elaborate and imaginative ways to explain how they occur. For example, this is a tablet that has been seen on Mayan ruins that shows a snake going up and swallowing up the sun, which is their explanation of why the sun disappeared. This is a Chinese representation of a solar eclipse showing a dragon flying in front of the sun. Finally, this is a carving on a wall in a temple in southern India showing two snakes approaching the disk of the sun and swallowing it. Chinese have been known to make excellent records of occurrences that have happened throughout their history. For example, in 1302 BC, Chinese historians documented an epic total eclipse that blocked out the sun for 6 minutes and 25 seconds. Because the sun was a symbol of the emperor, an eclipse was seen as a warning to the leader. After an eclipse, an emperor would eat vegetarian meals and perform rituals to rescue the sun. The crucifixion of Jesus. The Christian Gospels say that the sky was darkened for hours after the crucifixion of Jesus, which historians viewed either as a miracle or an omen for dark times to come. Later, historians used astronomy to pinpoint the death of Christ based on this eclipse mentioned. Some historians tie the crucifixion to a total solar eclipse lasting 1 minute and 59 seconds that occurred in the year 29 CE. Other historians say it might have been a second eclipse that occurred in 33 CE, which lasted 4 minutes and 6 seconds. The Quran mentions an eclipse that preceded the birth of Muhammad. Historians later tied this to a total eclipse that lasted 3 minutes and 17 seconds in 569 CE. One thing that I have noticed is that if you look at the symbol for Islam, it almost looks like an eclipse. Einstein's eclipse. Well, the ancients viewed eclipses as signs of great acts of God. Physicists viewed the 1918 eclipse as a triumph of science. As you can see here, we have a star. The star is actually at location A, but it appears like it's at location B because watch the path. It's going to go through here, pass around the sun, and because of the warping of space-time that occurs around the sun, it bends towards the earth like this. However, we only view light, and our mind's eye views light as going in straight lines. So we take this as a straight line. The star is viewed as being in this position. So that change in position of the star was experimental evidence of a bending of space-time that Einstein predicted.